Welcome to the Extraordinary Everyday Podcast, where women come to be inspired and motivated to become the best version of themselves and elevate the quality of their everyday. Now, here's your host, certified life coach, Wendy Johnson.
Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to the Extraordinary Everyday. I'm your host, Wendy Johnson, and today we're diving into a topic that can feel uncomfortable, but is truly life-changing: the power of vulnerability. I was greatly inspired to explore this topic after reading Brené Brown's incredible books, Daring Greatly and Daring to Lead. In the book, she describes vulnerability not as a weakness, but as courage. The courage to show up and be seen, even when we have no control over the outcome. This idea completely shifted my perspective, and I can't wait to share stories, insights, and practical takeaways that will help you embrace vulnerability in your own life. The problem: why we struggle with vulnerability. Many of us struggle with vulnerability because of fear of judgment, rejection, or getting hurt. Instead of leaning in, we build walls to protect ourselves. We distract and numb with work, social media, food, or even perfectionism. We keep people at a distance, thinking it will keep us safe. But in reality, it creates disconnection and loneliness. Shame and blame are two of the biggest obstacles to vulnerability. When we carry shame, we believe we're not worthy of connection. Blame, on the other hand, is a way to offload discomfort and pain instead of facing our true emotions. Both of these keep us stuck in fear, preventing us from living with an open heart. We can live with a whole heart or live in shame and blame. Brené Brown talks about living with a whole heart. What does that look like? A person living with a whole heart embraces their imperfections and knows they're worthy of love. They take risks in relationships, knowing connection is built on being authentic. They allow themselves to feel deeply without numbing or suppressing their emotions. And they accept failure as part of growth and learning. On the contrary, a person living in shame and blame feels unworthy and fears they're not enough. They put up walls to avoid emotional exposure. They numb pain with distractions like busyness, alcohol, or avoidance. And they blame others to avoid their own discomfort, keeping them stuck in fear. It takes an incredible amount of courage to be vulnerable. I think of that famous quote by Theodore Roosevelt, the one Brené Brown references in Daring Greatly, about the man in the arena. True bravery is not standing on the sidelines, but stepping into the arena of life, fully seen, knowing we might fail or fall, but showing up anyway. Let me share a personal story. There was a time when I was terrified of putting myself out there, whether it was starting this podcast, starting video, sharing my struggles, or even asking for help. I feared judgment. But when I finally did open up, I found that people didn't judge me. They related to me. They felt seen in my story. And that's when I realized vulnerability is not weakness, it's strength. One of the most powerful aspects of vulnerability is its ability to deepen our relationships. When we allow ourselves to be seen, imperfections and all, we create space for true connection. Think about a time when someone shared something deeply personal with you. How did it make you feel? Chances are you felt honored, trusted, and closer to that person. This is why vulnerability strengthens friendships, romantic relationships, or even workplace dynamics. A friend of mine once confided in me about a tough experience she was going through. She was afraid at first of seeming weak, but as she spoke, I saw her bravery. That conversation didn't just help her, it deepened our friendship in a way that wouldn't have been possible if she had held back and kept that to herself. Vulnerability isn't just about relationships, it's about personal growth. It's about willing to take risks, try new things, and embrace the possibility of failure. How many of us hold back because we're afraid of looking foolish? How many dreams stay dreams because we don't want to risk rejection? When we embrace vulnerability, we open ourselves up to opportunities. We learn new things, and along the way, we learn self-acceptance. Brené Brown says you can't get to courage without walking through vulnerability. Every time we step out of our comfort zones, every time we share our real selves, we are growing. We are becoming braver, stronger, and more accepting of our true, authentic self. So, how can we start practicing vulnerability in our daily lives? I want to share some steps with you. I have 8 steps here. The first one is to identify your numbing behaviors, if that's what you're doing. Ask yourself, are you avoiding feelings through distractions like work, social media, or food? The key to change is awareness of what you're doing. Step 2 is to name your shame. Recognize when you feel shame and remind yourself you're not alone. Go ahead and talk about it with someone you trust. And the third step is to take a small step. Share something real with a close friend, a romantic partner, or family member. You don't have to open up to everyone. To start small. This doesn't mean that you post all your feelings out on social media. Step 4 is to speak your truth. Whether you're asking for help, setting a boundary, or expressing your true feelings, practice honesty in your communication. Step 5, take risks. Try something new, even if you're afraid of failing. Remember, growth happens outside the comfort zone. Step 6, let go of perfection. Understand that vulnerability is about progress, not perfection. It's okay to be a work in progress. If you have perfectionist tendencies, I also did an episode just a few weeks ago, episode 86, Overcoming Perfectionism, Progress Over Perfection in the New Year, that you could go back and listen to. Step 7, be compassionate with yourself. Vulnerability can feel scary, but remind yourself you're worthy of love and connection just as you are. You are enough. Step 8 is to celebrate your courage. Every time you step into vulnerability, recognize it as a moment of strength, not weakness. Now you know vulnerability is not easy, but it can be powerful. It is the key to deepen a relationship, your personal growth, and accept yourself truly, authentically. It allows us to step into life with open hearts, knowing that while we may get hurt, we may also experience joy, connection, and purpose in ways we never imagined. So today, I invite you to embrace vulnerability in a small way. Step into the arena rather than hanging out on the sidelines. Be seen, be real, and watch how it transforms your life. Thank you for joining me on the Extraordinary Everyday. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Send me a message or share this episode with someone who might need it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit subscribe. Until next time, stay courageous, stay open, and keep embracing the extraordinary in the everyday. I'll see you next week, friends. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, you have to come check out More You, my community of like-minded women. We show up to create the highest version of ourselves and elevate the quality of our everyday along the way. Head over to ontracklifecoaching.com/join. That's ontraclifecoaching.com/join. I'd love to see you in there. And if you haven't grabbed your copy of the Mindset Makeover, head over to ontracklifecoaching.com/makeover and get a copy that teaches and inspires you to show up as your most extraordinary self.